Oh, that's too hard. We live on YouTube. But like I said, I give people some time to join. We live on YouTube. But like I said, I give people that. Let's go. Bet we can hop right into it. I ain't gonna wait too long. It's 7 a.m. Um, Good morning, everybody. We just about to start out. Just a couple things. We are gonna go over business topics and stuff, but this is not legal business advice. uh, get a consult a lawyer, CPA, all that good stuff. It is an open discussion, but we want to allow time for everybody to talk. So if you're gonna talk, just keep all your everything concise. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you say. Just want to allow time for everybody to say they whatever they want to say. You know what I'm saying, as it pertains to the topics. How we're gonna do it is we're gonna have a scripture that I'm gonna go over. I'm not no preacher or nothing, but do want to just take some time to, because God is the creator of everything, and He is just allowing me and everybody else to move forward in everything we're doing. So we're gonna have a scripture each week that we're gonna go over, and it's gonna correlate to the stuff that we're talking about. Then we're gonna move on to a business topic, and then we're gonna move on to a self-development topic. Um, but yeah, so I'll just go ahead and hop right into it. So the verse that I got for this week is we're gonna go with Matthew 25 and then 14 through 30. So it's a pretty long one, but I'm gonna just break it down and I'll put it also in the chat. Uh, Basically, it's a parable. Jesus in the Bible spoke in a lot of parables, like little stories. But this one was about uh, like a master had went on a journey or whatever, and he gave his three servants talents. Basically, gave them gold. Right? He gave one servant 5 talents. He gave another one two, and he gave another one one. Uh, he left on a journey, came back. The one he gave 5 had 10. The one he gave 2 had 4. But the one he only gave one to gave him back 1. So basically he didn't invest it. That's what he wanted to do. And that servant got banished from the from the servant's house. I mean from the master's house or whatever. He's like, bro, I don't know what you got going on, but you ain't do nothing with what I gave you. And in life, God give us all talent, right? We got many different talents, many gifts, and it's not really about how many gifts you got. It's really about what you do with the gifts that God give you. So, like I said, that's gonna be our focus for the week. Um, we got so many things that we should be able to invest in ourselves with. Uh, so yeah, I'll just open that to anybody got any feedback or anything from that verse. Did they get anything out of that?
Yo,
Yo,
yeah, I'm gonna say something, man, since ain't nobody else gonna say nothing. But good morning, everybody, man. I'm excited to be here, you know what I'm saying? What's called I'm just gonna tell a real fast, quick little story. I ain't gonna make it long. I know we got a little bit of time. But man, that story made me think of a memory I have. being in Rocky Mount, man, at Cookout was a pastor there. He pretty much asked me was I going to church, and because he saw my talent, he wanted a tattoo or whatever at that time. But it just made me think about that, and he was like, do I go to church and stuff? And I was like, no, not really like that. And he was like, well, you should go there and show God that you appreciate the gift that He gave you and stuff. And it's like I feel like doing what you were put here to do, which I feel like is art for me, and whatever it is for everybody else. That's you giving thanks to God. So I kind of, what I'm saying, that just hit home with me, and that's the memory I got from that. But that's all I wanted to say, and I'm out.
Nah, buddy, I appreciate you for sharing exactly, bro. And that's what it's all about. Just taking what God gave us and using it. What's up, Crystal? We cannot hear you. No.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm gonna kind of piggyback off like what Trail was saying. I think that resonates because you can show your gift and your gratitude or your gift from God in many different forms. One of them may be just doing the work. One of them may be more religious based and attending a church or something of that nature. But at the end of the day, I think that the main purpose um for us as service is to show that gratitude in some form or some fashion. And there's different routes of serving God and different routes of showing your gratitude and showing your gifts off. So I think that was a good point, Trey, and I'm kind of along the same lines with that one.
No, facts. Exactly. And that's all we can do. Just make the best of each thing that God give us. And Crystal put in the chat, just making use of what God give you. Don't envy others' blessing because the talent God gave you will He'll increase it once you show you're a good steward. And that's huge. Is that like being able to be a good steward over what God give you? Because if you can't manage what you already got, or if you're not showing God that you gonna increase what He gave you, then why would He give you more? Or why would He, what I'm saying, bless you or increase you with more? It's like you're not doing nothing with what you already got. Um, but yeah, like I said, we won't stay too deep on that. We'll stay on this whole week because I feel like it's super important and we want to dive into it some more. But also, so the business topic that we got for today is the SWOT analysis. Everybody in here familiar with a SWOT analysis? Everybody ain't all speak at once.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I am.
Cool. But so like
No,
for the people who are not familiar, the SWOT analysis basically it's an acronym. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So basically in business, like when you creating a business plan, that's one like the first things that you want to do. And you kind of want to keep doing it probably yearly. It's just analyzing what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and the opportunities and the threats that you have. So strengths would be like things that your company do well, all right, already. Things that qualities that separates your company from other things, other competitors. The internal resources that you might have, such as skills, people on your team, uh, knowledge that you might have, all of that type of stuff, and any like assets that your company has. So that'll be all those things would be like strengths. Weaknesses would be things that your company lacks, um, stuff that maybe your competitors do better than you in the same industry, uh, limitations of any resources, and the opportunities is like what you can do to be better in your business, right? Uh, we all have opportunity to be better. That might be growing your network, getting another investor, expanding some of the products or some of the things that you sell in your business, adding on to a service that you do, right? It could be many things to help that opportunities are. And then threats are maybe a new competitor coming into the field. It could be negative press or anything like that. It happens in the media. You might get a bad review. You might I've been seeing a lot of that on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? It's just smallest thing. That's nothing. It's Black History Month. I feel like in our community sometimes we be quick to like just for lack of better term, just go in on each other. You know what I'm saying? After the most like the smallest things, and when we go to all of these other companies and we just going right back to them, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that could be considered a threat. So you want to always make sure that you on your P's and Q's and that you do a SWOT analysis in your business. Has anybody done one or had success from doing one?
I kind of do them a lot for other entities, but I've done one before. I mean, I've do it a lot, but yeah.
How do you feel like? Do you feel like they help the entities that you done it for?
Repeat that.
Do you feel like they have helped the entities that you have done them for?
It does help if they follow suit, and that's the thing. Sometimes what you see others don't see because they're not necessarily on the grounds, but they have helped individuals and entities who have actually utilized them because it shows a deeper. I think to me, I'm very analytical, and so I kind of take it all the way down to the nitty gritty. But some people, they don't want to take it that far. They're just looking for the surface. They just want to scrape off the surface. But yeah, they typically, if you follow suit and listen, you'll do very well.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, especially what you saying, like, if you follow the plan. That's the most important thing. If you actually read what's being presented to you, or you read what you presented yourself and you actually follow it, that's doing the research is the easy part. Actually sticking to the plan and following up is the work, right? That we got to put in to make sure that our business is successful. Tashina put in the chat, yeah, she's done something, they've been successful. So that's great that we uh have that experience, in this group. And then if you need some help, you know what I'm saying, don't feel free to reach out, like I said, in the Facebook group, ask somebody or DM or whatever, to put one together. Cause it seems like Krista does them for other people. Tashina, I do them for other people. So we got people in here. That's another thing that I want this group to be, is just a place to network and to learn skills that or transfer skills amongst each other. Some of us, like we just said, got talents, but there are other talents, whatever the case may be. This is not the self-development topic, but I want to throw this in there because it's something that I feel like I came up with. I'm pretty sure somebody else done did it before. But outside of business SWOT, you should also do a personal SWOT. So analyze your personal strengths, analyze your personal weaknesses, opportunities to get better and to grow, and then threats that you have against yourself. Threats could be stuff like procrastination, lack of a support system, toxic relationships, right? Those could be all threats that could be detrimental to your to yourself and your growth. So that's just something I want to throw out there. Just do a personal SWOT. Sometimes analyze your own life, the same way you would analyze your business. Because at the end of the day, our life is a business. We might not think about it like that, but it really is. We gotta do all the same things. And if you want to, never mind, go off the deep end. But so the self-development topic that I have for today, just want to start off like the first one. You just talk about the importance to me of morning routines. And that's one of the main reasons why I started this. Like I said, one of the main reasons why I started this, because I wanted to be more consistent with my morning routine and stuff that I'm doing before I even get on this call. So having this call every single day for the rest of the year, or every single weekday for the rest of the year, is gonna help me be consistent with what I'm doing in the morning. Anybody have a morning routine that they feel like they're being consistent with or inconsistent with, and they want to get better? We can just talk about it.
Hey, Philip, I
This
want
is Tashina.
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rashida.
No, this is Tashina, guys. I'm on the way to work, so I'm not on camera.
No problem.
Something I started the beginning of February. I get up at 5 o'clock, which is normally 5:30, but I started getting up at 5 o'clock on the first, and I've been doing like a Bible plan with the church that I started going to. So from like 5 till about 5:45, 5:30, I read like 3 different scriptures, and I also have something where I don't listen to anything other than gospel before 10 o'clock. I pray before I actually start my day. So that's something that I just started including in my morning routine as of this month.
Oh, that's awesome. We read a book in the book club last year called the 5 a.m. Club, and just the benefits of waking up at 5 and why that's so beneficial to start your day. If you haven't read that book, I'd say check it out. It's a great book, very impactful, but no, it's dope, especially starting the day off with God. I feel like we got so much going on now, so much technology. We can wake up and easily hop on our phones and not even think about God sometimes. So that's super important.
I wanted to comment on the spot and how I look at the T when it comes to threats. I always look at those from like a growth opportunity. Taking those things that we see as threats or that may be potentially threats and looking at those as opportunity for you to grow and develop more. And I guess I've been the weird one. I like constructive criticism or criticism because it shows me where my weaknesses are. So sometimes those threats carry over into weaknesses. And when it comes to like personal development and routines, I'm really bad about that because I think it's merely because I don't have a accountability group. And when you don't have someone that's holding you accountable, I mean, I guess you should be accountable to God. It's easy to kind of fall off routines when you don't have an individual that holds you accountable, but also can give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not always agree with you. So I think that's the biggest thing with me as far as when I fall off or I don't continue with routines, is because I need someone that's going to really hold me accountable by not allowing me to kind of push the line, move the line whenever I want to move the line.
No, yeah, for sure. That's another reason I say open up this thing for accountability partners. 'Cause I feel like we definitely all need constructive criticism. And we all probably need an accountability partner too, because it's not easy to just keep doing something for yourself. So anybody, I feel like that was kind of like you was looking for the accountability partner. So I would just be like, hey, if anybody would like to be accountability partners, definitely mention it in the Facebook group or just reach out to somebody individually that's in the group. Let them know. Like I said, Crystal just said she probably would like an accountability partner, so that'll be an awesome thing. Anybody else have success with a morning routine that they would like to share?
Yeah, so I pretty much my morning routine consists of prayer, meditation, getting a chance to read, working out, the things that I can focus on, because like you said, with the 5 a.m. club, with the book and everything, that's like the slowest time of the day. So that's the time you can really focus on yourself. One thing that I say I struggle on is when I do miss my routine or something gets off on my routine, I can sometimes let that affect the following things. So like what I have to do in a day. I already don't feel like I'm hitting um as much as I will when I do make the decisions to get up, to read, to pray, and everything. So that's alongside of being more consistent. That's one of the things that I've been trying to focus on getting better is, even if I do have uh for the lack of a better word, like a slip where I miss my daily routine to still be effective and not let that translate into what I got to do for the rest of the day, you know? And I think part of that is just like a personal guilt trip because it's like, man, I'm not consistent, or man, um, I didn't just make the decision to wake up when the alarm went off. You know, I wanted to get that extra 15, the extra 20, whatever the case may be. So like I said, right now, that's what I'm trying to focus on is just like, hey, sometimes you might have that outlier where you're not consistent, but that doesn't stop it. You know, you don't put that on halt. That's really the days where you got to kind of trigger something and make it go even harder. And then what I'm learning too is, for my personal experience, is that those days are really like those really become some of my better days because that's really where I gotta like hone in and say like, all right, you know, don't let that affect what else you got going on and still do something, you know, and just it's power in making, at least from my experience, I found that it's power in making that simple decision of just do something, whether it might not be seem as effective as other days when you feel like everything is going great. It's still power in that small decision of saying, I'm still going to do this rather than not doing this. So, yeah, that's my personal experience with my routine.
Yeah, man. It's for who are just joining on the phone, we're just talking about morning routines and how important it is for a successful day. But it's super important to not allow yourself to get down or like I said, guilt trip yourself or just stay out of whack for the rest of the day. And it's also super hard not to do that. I be doing that too. If I wake up late or if I don't do something that I wanted to do before a certain time, I'm like, man, dang. And then the whole day start happening. It's like one explosion after the other. So I definitely feel that for sure. For sure. But yeah, morning routine super essential. I say if you don't have one, kind of think of one. I ain't gonna tell nobody to wake up at a certain time. But I would say I would highly recommend waking up at least 2 hours before your day start to do just whatever. Definitely spend some time with God. Um, if you're not gonna work out, stretch, something like that. Those things help. Um, read, journal. Did my video just freeze up?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
but I can hear you clearly.
For sure. Oh man. Hey, that's crazy. I'm about to log out and log right back in. Yo, my whole Zoom just froze. They trying to start it. They trying to start the shine, yo. Wait, hello. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you though. Yeah.
Forget it. I ain't gonna log out and do all of that. The last thing is um I just want to tie in what the scripture was as far as using your talents to a Black history figure. So I don't know if y'all know, it's crazy. I have slideshow and everything I put together. I was gonna pop on the screen. Anyway, um uh it's this dude named Joseph. I don't even know how you pronounce it. He's French. Joseph Bologna. It's probably not that. Joseph, I don't know, but it's like bologna. Like it's literally how they spell bologna on the thing. But I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it. Anyway, um, he was the son. He was a French dude, son of a French white dude, and slave, right? So anyway, this dude ended up being like, he went. His dad sent him away to this boarding school or whatever, where he learned like one of the finest boarding schools in France because his dad was a wealthy slave owner. Um, Ended up being like the only black dude there, uh, mixed black, however you want to call it. But this dude, like I said, his name was Joseph Bologna. At the end of the day, he ended up being called the Chevalier de Saint George. They just made a movie about him. I would highly recommend checking it out. It's a super super dope movie. It's called Chevalier. Um, but anyway, so went through the boarding school, whatever. And while he was at school, he ended up being one of the top fencers in the whole nation of France. So he was a super fine swordsman and ended up being actually knighted. And served in the military as one of the best swordsmen in France history, right? But simultaneously as he was doing this, he was also one of the best violin players. Like, well, he was the best violin player in the country of France, and also the best uh composition. I guess the leader of the of an entire orchestra. Like he wrote symphonies and stuff like that as well. So he was I don't even know a song orchestra writer. He was a elite fencer, and he was the best violin player all at the same time. All at a time where France was super racist, and France was so racist. Um, so he came up at a time. I'm talking about he was friends with the Queen, all this type of stuff. And then after he was really on a high horse for a little bit. Napoleon came in, took charge of everything, and denounced all his stuff. They stopped his music from being played. You couldn't perform it at theaters, all this type of stuff. And Napoleon even like made slavery back legal. So that was just another tidbit of a crazy point. But this dude, like I said, Chevalier, he was just using all his talents. And when you think about at the time what that meant to be the best fencer, because that was the top sport, that was like the elite sport at the time, and also being the best like composer, yeah, that's what we call it, composer. Like he was sitting in the same rooms as Mozart, right? They was like neck and neck, um, violin player. So when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. Like, bro was really using his talents in a spot that he was being highly discriminated against, and still use his talents to the best of his abilities, and was able to show God's glory through all of that. So that's just one person. And if you want to equivalent that to somebody at this time, I picture it as kind of like, and it's arguable, but just mainstream, whatever. It's kind of like LeBron and Drake being the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. But had anybody ever heard of him before? And I think my screen is unfrozen now.
No, I've never heard of him. And yeah, you
Facts. So yeah, I would say check him out. I'm about to definitely share this slideshow I put together right quick though. So anyway, this is him or whatever. So I would say definitely check him out, do some research on that. Uh but yeah, this was the first daily dose. We're gonna do this every single day. Come up with different topics just to grow with each other, share with each other. Um, Kamisha also just want to throw this in. Kamisha put in the chat, I couldn't see it. She was like writing down what you need to do every week, kind of hold yourself accountable. It's like a contract with yourself every week. I write out my week as well as meal prep every Sunday evening. It really helps orchestrate my week as a business owner and a mom. So having a contract with yourself, that's a super important concept, right? Because when you get into a contract, it's like, okay, this got to get, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's a huge and super dope point. So definitely appreciate you for sharing that. Um, well, like I said, this is the first daily dose. We back with it every day. Anybody else have anything else they want to say before we hop off?
I'll just say appreciate you for taking the initiative and putting this together, bro. Look forward to seeing what it grows into. But just want to say thank you to you for even thinking of this concept.
Facts, bro. I appreciate it. Just gonna let God keep driving the ship. So I appreciate everybody out here for joining. Share with everybody the Facebook group. Let everybody know. Just want to grow this thing so we can, like I said, support each other. and just keep elevating. But I hope everybody have a blessed day and just have a blessed week.